An event focused on culture and bettering the workplace environment is returning to the Sioux Falls Convention Center today, and that's where El Daca is this morning live to talk about Culturecon. Let's send it back out to her. El.
Good morning, Thor. Yes, we're here at the Sioux Falls Convention Center, and we're talking a little bit about Culturecon 2023. I'm joined again by Dan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit about the importance of an event like Culturecon for the Sioux Falls community?
Yeah, I think it's important for this, not only one, like we mentioned earlier, community culture and workplace culture have such a massive impact on our lives. For us in our business, the average human being spends about 115,000 hours of their life at work. We survey people every day and we train thousands of people a year, and we find that about 55 to 60% of their waking hours are spent at work. The only other place you spend that much time is going to be out in the community. And so the culture of both those things, one, they're really important, but two, they're connected. And so for us, an event like this where we get to come and gather and talk about these things is really, really important. The second thing for us being that we get a chance to elevate Sioux Falls speakers. All of our talent is people from Sioux Falls doing really impactful things. We're an incredible city. We were just talking about it a little bit ago, but we're growing massively. There's a ton of opportunities here, but there's also people here doing really, really important things. And it's important for us every year that we can showcase that. So we don't bring people in from the coast. We don't pay for six-figure keynote speakers because we've got a really, really incredible talent pool of passionate people here in Sioux Falls.
And we were talking a little bit about the pandemic and the impact that had on workplaces. A big impact that it is going to have is people don't want to work somewhere where there's a bad culture. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
No, not at all. And we're actually talking about that today, so I'll be up on stage talking about a lot more details about these kind of things. But in the last few years, employee turnover has gone up. People know this. Engagement is lower. People know this. People just want different things out of their work. I think what happened over the last few years, excuse me, was that people realized there was a lot of holes missing, a lot of gaps in culture or the environment or the way that they got really, I would say, fulfilled or refilled from their jobs. And so what you have now is there's kind of this deficit in a lot of those areas. And it's more important now than ever for businesses to start looking at how they're investing and how they're approaching things like employee experience, coaching, performance management, all those things, all those really tangible things, because we talk about culture and sometimes we can mean ambiguous stuff, right? But what we talk about is how do you coach, how do you train, how do you lead people every day in the actual activities you do, and that impacts somebody's decision on where they want to spend the majority of their life, which is work. And right now, organizations are having to catch up a little bit, which is a good thing. It forces us to change. But that's kind of what we're all about here, is just understanding different ways to do that.
Well, it sounds like this is a very important event focused on growing with the times.
Oh, yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you. We'll be learning a little bit more about Culturecon later on this morning. Back to you guys.
All right, things get going at 8 o'clock this morning. There'll be a number of speakers from the community there out throughout the day at the convention center. We'll check back in with Elle here in a little bit.